Hello, everyone. Today's question is, how do I keep my energy and my commitment? How do I keep that level up? For example, let's say you, the beginning of the year, decided you wanted to lose weight and you signed up for a gym and you got a personal trainer and you went in and you went in hard. So for the first few weeks, you're going in hard and you don't really feel like you want to stop. You want to do this. You're committed. You're fired up. And then a few weeks or maybe a few months later, you're not going to the gym at all. And you don't even remember the last time you went. And you want to get back to it, but you don't really have that same energy you had in the beginning. And maybe the whole year or the rest of the year goes by and you don't move forward at all. So how do you get that energy back, or how do you keep it in the first place? So we'll use that going to the gym example. So one of the first things we do is if you and I work together is we refine our goals. What is our goal? Is your goal just to lose weight? Is that losing weight just so you can look skinnier? Or is that losing weight for some other purpose so you can fit into a dress? Because if you try to lose weight, it may not go away from the area you want. So maybe it's about fitting into that dress, or maybe it's about a health conversation, or something a little more bigger, something we really have clarity. Because the problem with losing weight is there are many factors into the movement up and down of your weight. So we need to be really clear on what we're about and why. Then the second thing is, how are we measuring it? So if you're trying to become more healthy, is weight the best way to measure that? And the amount of that your weight may move may go up and down as your body sort of finds its new footing, or as you try to achieve that. So if you are looking at your scale for motivation, you may not be motivated by what you see. And in fact, it could work against you, or maybe it doesn't move at all and you feel like you're wasting your time. And if I'm wasting my time, why am I doing it in the first place? Or what other self-talk could happen? Maybe this is the weight I'm supposed to be. Maybe this is my destiny. Maybe this is not something I should be concentrating on. Maybe I'm just not a good person, or whatever way you talk to yourself. But you've tied all of that on what shows up on the scale. And that's probably not the best way to do that. So if I were trying to become more healthy, I would probably try to measure quite a few things, as much as I could on my own. I wear one of those watches. I won't tell you what the brand is because I don't have any brand endorsement, but it measures a lot of things. It measures my sleep, how well I sleep. It measures my heart rate. It measures my endurance, how much energy I put into living each day, my calorie burning. It measures all of that, and it will measure more if I wanted to. I could measure, say, how many cups of water I drink, or how many calories of food I eat, or again, my weight. But all of that is together. So if I want to check on the status of moving forward on my goal for my health, I have many things to look at. And I can guarantee that if I'm doing work, something is moving on one of those scales. And in addition to that, this device will let me know. It's automated, and it's good to automate your processes. So if I achieve some sort of milestone daily, it'll start buzzing like crazy, like, oh, hey, you did it. Like if I get to a certain amount of calories burned, or if I walk a certain amount of miles, or if I get my heart rate up to a certain number, it will let me know. And then I can go into the app and find out more about what I did. And then I can look back over time and see what has changed and if that has something that's consistent. So it's much more of an empowering process because I can see something that's moving. So how you measure it makes sense. But the next step of it is how you reward yourself. Now, video games, and I play far too many video games, but video games have this on lock. Every time you go so far in the game, they say, hey, you get the Explorer badge. You explore more than I would have expected. Or you won the battle against X amount of aliens that you're fighting, or whatever it is. It rewards me when I work to move forward, and it feels good. So you should also be thinking about how you're rewarding yourself for your good work. So if you're about trying to lose weight or get in better shape, I would not say reward myself with a slice of cake, because that's probably working against it, but I would find a way to reward myself in a way that feels good to me, in a way that gets me excited and feel happy. Like, for example, I have a lot of goals and things on my plate to do each day. So if I get those done, and then maybe I try to do a little more so I can feel better about myself. But once I get all of that done, then I go play. I go play, do whatever foolish thing I want to eat crazy, whatever, because it makes me happy. But I've earned it because I worked hard, and I can measure how I worked hard because I have these things to check to prove that I worked hard. I have some way to measure my movement. So what do you get from this, or what would I like you to get from this? If you're working towards a goal, whether that be a business goal, personal goal, any kind of goal, you need to find a way, the right way, or a series of ways to measure your movement forward on that goal. Something that's accurate, something that you can count on, something that will show the change based on the effort that you make. So that when you can see the measurement happening, or when you can see over time that you're actually getting closer, you can feel good about it. You can get empowered a little. You can stay in the game. And then once you get milestones, once you've say, well, now I'm finally running a whole mile a day, where I was only running a mile, a quarter mile or something like that, and walking the rest. So now that I have consistently started running a whole mile, I can reward myself. Now, how I reward myself is really based on me. What do I like? What makes me feel good? So that I'm really empowered and maybe even want to chase after that reward. So back to the original question. How do I keep that energy? How do I keep myself moving forward, especially over longer periods of time? Because it makes sense that if you try to change yourself, then the pendulum will ultimately swing back to what you're used to. So you need checks and balances, things in place, automate as much as possible to keep you activated, to keep you empowered, to keep you excited, especially when you can see that things are moving. You're not where you were, and I can see that very clearly. So if you ask me, how do I have that energy? I'm going to first ask you, how are you measuring your movement? How do you know you've moved forward other than the fact that you've spent some work? What is the proof of that? And do you have something in place to show that you can look at and see the change? And second, I'm going to ask you how you reward yourself for your good work. Because we all want to feel good about what we do. And not just, I created this building, but on the way to get there each day, it's nice to have a little something set in place to remind yourself, I recognize you worked hard today and you deserve this. So are you rewarding yourself? Think about that the next time you're trying to move forward and you feel like quitting. Perhaps change your method. Perhaps look into a new way to measure your success and a new way to reward your success. I wish you luck on your path, and I hope you don't need it. Take care. See you next time. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have questions, suggestions for new content, or something you'd like to share, please do so in the comments below. I look forward to reading them. We'll be publishing content weekly. Please click the like button if you're so moved to help support this channel, and consider subscribing to keep up to date and be made aware when new content drops. If you think you'd like to explore working with me as your life or business coach, there's a link below to set up a free consultation call, and you can find out more at CoachWallaceRussell.com. You can expect more content like this in the coming weeks, and there are projects on the horizon I'm part of that I'm fairly excited about. I look forward to sharing those with you. See you next time, and remember, it is done unto you as you believe.